their struggle that came into the first leg in there. So it is so turn. I mean, so big one, and it was only Dennis Omedi's goal that separated the two. Getting that solo goal for that is Chitara meant very, very much big for the boys. Now this is one big one, and that victory was also still on the same ground of Lugogo. I don't think it's going to be just like Mubiru saying. Today it's the KCCA that are home, yes, and yes, the other time it was the land, the tenants who were home, of course, when they came into the game. Now Super 8 has 8 teams, and we will see that 7 UPL teams and 1, of course, national team, or the Cranes select team that came through to see. They also won their game. So this time round, Chitara would look forward to see that stopping this is going to be one big moment to talk about, because look at the anticipation. I want to say the KCCA would talk about that when maybe Mohamed Shaban was into the team by then. You would know that Chitara and of course there's Omedi and Shaban battle that has always been there. Everyone will always want to prove himself to be the best player in the country, and indeed that's one big thing that is there. So now reaching already the quarterfinals, a second leg means that you need to put your creme de la creme to deliver. And remember, teams have been off for some time, but KCCA did not go home. They were there. They have been playing, and that is what they have been doing. Even in the training sessions, they have been in training, and that is it. So barely you would say that they didn't have a break when other teams were for break, and I expected maybe them to be together, already knowing what they can do. But the absence of their striker, Abu Mayanja, was one key name who, of course, really saw what exactly pushed in there. That means he was not there in the first round because he was ruled out, but still, that's one big challenge Mubiru relied on, because he felt this would be the man to get them the goals. But for me, I don't, okay, yes, strikers, but I don't believe, sometimes you can even play falsely. As I talk right now, like United is going to play false number 9 because their striker is injured. That's one thing that you see. Before Haaland came to Man City, there was a false number 9 that would score goals for, that is Pep Guardiola. So it's about your style of play. But KCCA's performance, I should say, will need to be so clinical this time round against, that is the team of Chitara, because if you're not going to be clinical, then you have a lot of things to talk about, which will be right there. And of course, defensive errors is to be made. If they are to win, really, just like Mubiru said, then there should be zero tolerance to defensive errors, because you have good players. You have Amaku, you have Omedi, you have more players who are very pacey. They can kill you at a time. But with the Chitara team, and indeed that is what will be coming right there. So it's a very big game that all other persons should be waiting to see and push forward. But before that, there's going to be a game earlier on at 5 p.m. where, of course, NEC Football Club will be taking on Viper Sports Club. The new entrant in their team has been one of the key starters I've seen, and that is Jarieko James, who, of course, has been from Nduparaka to the team of NEC, and he's doing very well. You saw how he played in the game, and that means the coach has trusted him, and indeed he has proved something in there. NEC Football Club will be looking forward to see that they really get in there, because their first game was a goalless draw.
For NEC and Vipers, by the way, this is going to be a very tough one Tuesday today. Earlier on, just like you had said, we did see how, of course, they played it in there. And this time around, with NEC, of course, adding on a few people as the transfer windows went by, you would literally see that Vipers is also another side that did not leave themselves behind. They're also equal one side that did add in a lot of people in there. So basically, for the two sides, it's literally going to be a very tough one. But this time I see, the way I see it, with the hard work and the teamwork of Didu and Mbalangu there, I think they are really ready to go past. There is the team of Vipers, because you all know Vipers has been suffering here and there, having coaches, issues with coaches and all that, and then plus also their players have not been so consistent, that is to me, and all that. So with also how NEC did lose into the hands of Chitara the other time in there is the Uganda Cup finals, very slimly there, I really don't think they would want to also be eliminated this early in the Super 8 tournament. So this time around, it's going to be a very tough one as an opener for today's games. Over there is the Super 8. I am seeing basically NEC going past the Vipers, although it's going to be a tough one.
All right, a tough one indeed it will be, but of course another interesting moment to see that this is really one thing that you'll have to put your team onto, because testing and pushing in there. NEC is going to be home, and that's a very tough one for them. Normally they use Lugogo, and yet to see the Lugogo has a game to play at night, so they will be at Lugogo to see that they welcome the team of Viper Sports Club. That is their away team right there. Now let's leave that there and see how this would be, because Vipers didn't have their coach due to malaria last week. Yes, last week. Now they will be looking forward, probably, I don't know, they have not come up with a statement whether he will also be off the bench, but he is one coach who I wanted to see his tactics. He has won one. What exactly next for him, and how exactly is it going to be? Because I was thinking maybe that was his problem, that he had not mastered his players very well. He's trying to push, but you looked at the game that was with the foreign club in there at the Police Football Club. He was on touchline and things moved on well. Maybe his absence could have costed them not to get a win. That's one big thing that we shall also be waiting in there. But all in all, I want to say that the team is so big to talk about as a Viper Sports Club, but at the same time NEC has really pushed and added in players into their team to see that things work the way they are. Now when we leave the Super 8 here and we cross over to that is what is happening in Paris in the Olympics, where of course one big thing, someone would be asking a question, why probably is the Olympics going on, but we have heard about Cheptegei and Kiplimo pulling off. Why? That's the question somebody would be asking in there. Now, of course, in the 5,000 meters, they will not be there. And according to the reports coming right there, indicates that Joshua and Jacob will be out because they have been withdrawn. That is according to the guidance from their physio, of course, who said the two athletes or runners won't be able, because when they participated in the 10,000 meters, it was a long distance, and indeed their muscles are so painful that they cannot, because it's tomorrow that we're supposed to watch the 5,000 meters go on. So these two won't be participating or representing Uganda due to that. They are exhausted and they have fatigued, I should say, for a simple language. Yes, they will not be able to participate. Now that question comes to maybe, what do you think this means to Uganda? Because Uganda, should we say the trainings were not that enough, or should we say this time Olympics has been so tight? Because we saw them in Tokyo, we saw them in Budapest. They were very outstanding. This time round, they are not going to be participating because they have gotten in this, and they have been in this for quite a long time. Should we say it's age, because it's now is now, like for Cheptegei, is now 27, 28 years. So is it also age catching up with them? Because he also did announce his retirement, by the way, after that 10,000. He said he is not returning into athletics anymore. So that is what is there.
It's quite, by the way, it's quite very frightening, I should say, because all hopes were on the two people, basically, that would go in there to represent Team Uganda. But now, with the withdrawal of them with a press release, that, of course, came on 6th August from the head coach of athletics Team Uganda, in the names of Faustino Kiwa, who said due to the reasons that you just gave us, the two will not participate in there is the 5,000 meter race in there, leaving of course leaving Oscar Chalimo in there is the men's 5,000 meter semi-final and finals at the ongoing Olympics games in Paris. But quite very alarming, by the way, because with the fact that Cheptegei has always been there, and Chiplimo, these are people who have won medals in a row. For Cheptegei, it has been like 3 medals in a row in all the competitions that he has always gone into. So basically, this time around, withdrawing due to injuries. Yeah, of course, the 10,000 was quite long, I should say. And then reasons as to why they have withdrawn, of course, have been stated that they did pick in injuries in there because they planned that very very race so well with, of course, Chiplimo, and they did take part in both, seeing Cheptegei emerging as the winner in there. So basically, the route was so long, the kilometers were too long, I should say. Age, I could be catching up, muscles and all that, however hard you train. You just mentioned something about whether they did not do the trainings enough and all that, but basically we all know and understand that sometimes you can do the trainings, yes, but then the muscles and the veins also keep aging, even if you do a lot of trainings and all that. So basically, I think age would be one fact that we could say that is catching up with. There is a Cheptegei in there. But then for Chiplimo's case, honestly, that was quite a very long distance. We all know how hard the duo have been training in there. But this should also teach Ugandans that you shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket. But we still have one. There is a Chelimo that will go in for this, and we should now turn in all our trust and players into there is a Chilimo that will take into the 500 semis and finals in there.
Yeah, nothing big much. Of course, Chelimo still will be representing, but I can tell you in athletics, it's all about the teamwork that helps in there. That's why even Cheptegei had to win in this 10,000 Olympics, winning the gold medal, because if you look at how he was, it was Jacob Kiplimo who was trying to defend him from the rest, like the US runner who, of course, tried his level best. Almost, by the way, was going to overtake him, but Jacob Kiplimo played a very good I should say obstruction as an obstacle to him, and tried so much guiding him. He had the possibility of making maybe at number 2, but made sure that he needed to obstruct the two, of course, athletes from getting to the man himself, Joshua Cheptegei. Now, indeed, he is part of that team. Of course, I should say that win shouldn't even only go to Cheptegei, because it was a teamwork that is there. Now, that's where I'm going to have problems with Chelimo being the only sole candidate for Uganda representing in this 5,000 meters, because at least the three would have done a teamwork and make sure that something is worked upon right there. This leaves, of course, Cheptegei has been the world champion, of course, in this race also, last, if you remember. But at the same time, the last time he took this was also, he was, I think, having a silverware it was Tokyo, yes, that they went and had that moment. So what exactly will he do? One, to him, I think that's a good one. If he has not, if he had participated, he knows, how the physio knows that he wouldn't make it there, and that would have that in his CV as for him as a person. But at the same time, I think health-wise, I've loved what the physiotherapist has done, because you first check what exactly your client is all about. So it's not like us, when you have even gotten a knock, you say, no, let me first tie it and I play and I come back. No, but this is so professional. I've loved what is there. The only thing is that now it's Chelimo who will be right there. What about Chelimo? What exactly will be doing? So I'll call upon you to also watch and follow and support him as usual. All things that are coming through, we shall be making sure that this works out for the man Chelimo, because this is not only his. He has also ever won for Uganda.
Yeah, he has won. He has won 2 silver and 3 bronze medals to his name in his career. He won the 3,000 meter silver in the African Youth Games in 2018 in Algeria, under 20 team World Cross Country Championship in 2019 in AUG. His bronze medals came in. There is a 2018 in Buenos Aires Youth Olympic Games in the 3,000 meters. The 2019 World Cross Country Championships under 20 race in also Aires, and in the 5,000 meter at the 2022 Eugene World Championship in there. So basically, I think he did finish in position number 2 or 3 to see him winning the bronze, but that was in 2019. So this time around, I think we should be seeing him do better.
Of course, new persons have come in, or new other people have also come through to see that this works out, because it's one of the biggest things you could be talking about. But all in all, I want to say that things are going well for Uganda. I can see here, let me see, there's one big one, of course, Chemutai who is also still representing Uganda, because Leonardo advanced to the 3,000, of course, the steeplechase finals after he had gotten a very wonderful runs here and there, pushing through, making sure that things went through for him. But he advances now to the next level, and this is going to be one of the biggest, because he's in the finals, and this is yet for his first time. It is his debut that he has made through to the athletics, and probably he has posted 8 hours and 18 minutes, then 19 seconds. That is what exactly he has done. And of course, one of his best, because he finished second behind the reigning Moroccan El Bakali in the heat 1, if you remember very well. That was on Monday, and this time round he will be seeking for glory on Wednesday, which is tomorrow. Can he make it after he's made his first attempt, first season, first Olympics, and this time round he came second, but of course he's still through to the finals.
I think it's quite going to be very impressive seeing Leonard Chemutai, of course, qualifying for the men's 3,000 steeplechase finals. The 21-year-old who is making his Olympic debut, just like you had said, started strong, keeping up the pace with the front runners and all that. So I basically think the biggest in all this is keeping in the pace in there, trying to see that you understand the footwork, because overtaking in athletics is understanding the foot marks of the people basically that are ahead of you. So for the fact that he has gone through the heat runs, of course, in there you start in with the heat runs and all that, and then you keep advancing to the following stages. So for the fact that he did go through the heat runs, and for the fact that he came through to the semi-finals, and also finishes top there for to book in a slot for the finals, should be a very big one to say that yeah, he will definitely also do in something big and register in at least a medal, even if not a gold, although everyone goes in there to eye for a gold. But at least for the fact that he was able to go through past all these stages, we should be trusting in him that he will definitely come through with a medal.
Yeah, that's not his first, of course, I should say. He's one key name that you could be trusting, just like Susie has said, because he won the Africa Senior Athletics Championship gold. That was way back in July. Of course, that was in Douala. And at the same time, you did see also the man by the names of Orogot, also getting, by the way, into another making, because it's also his first debut. He's a debutant in this at the Olympics, and he did very well in these games. He surged the men's 200 meters finals, semi-finals, due to, of course, which is, yes, he advanced there, and he to the men's semi-final, which will be on Wednesday still. He's going to be making sure that he gets himself through to whether he will be. So Orogot, these are two new debutants into the Olympics, and they are representing Uganda so well. I think this is a plus, because one is in the final, one is in the semi-final. Credit should be given to them, because they have done really very, very well. Orogot won in, that is the heat 2, after finishing in the time of 20 minutes, 32 seconds. Of course, ahead of that is Bahamas' Wanya McCoy, who was also one of the big names you can talk about. So all in all, those are some of the names that you can talk about. Now let's look at who is where and who. Of course, there's this lady called Chemutai, who is also one name in the 3,000 meters for the female, and she's targeting for another big moment in there. That is now Leonardo, there's Rogot. Now there is also Chemutai, who is in the race to see that this makes in there. Tomorrow is the time, of course, for the yes, it's going to be another big one today, 10 p.m. 10:14 in fact, where of course Peruth Chemutai will be racing up in today's encounter in France. Of course, the game will be at Stade de France. That stadium is where all eyes will be for Ugandans tonight.
Peruth, of course, did win in the heat 1 of the women's 3,000 meters steeplechase semi-finals in Paris to qualify for the medal event, and the Olympics defending champion finished in a time of 9 minutes at 10.51, beating Kenya's Faith Cherotich and German's Cruz, who clocked also on the same, but they were, of course, differentiated in by the seconds in there. Chemutai is the only Ugandan female athlete to win a gold medal at the Olympics after her heroics in 2020 in Tokyo. And I think this time around we should be seeing him going through to also defending the gold that she did win in the last Olympics down in Tokyo. And basically for the fact that she also in the heat runs and the semi-finals she also did beat in all her opponents to see that she gets to qualify for the reserve finals should clearly say something that she is definitely going to go for this run, knowing that she has to defend in her medal. And yesterday the team Uganda only had one representative, that was Leonard Chemutai, who competed in the 3,000 meters race that did see him, of course, go through to the finals that await. So today we shall be seeing Ruth Chemutai defending in the title that she already did win in the last Olympics, that was 2020 in Tokyo.
Okay, for the starters, I can tell you she has been one key name to talk about, but at the same time, she has also been one of the biggest names to talk about this time around in the ladies category. And Chemutai, I can tell you, prevailed to be the fastest, of course, qualifier when, of course, she won her heater on, that is Sunday. Yes, if you remember, she was so outstanding, 9:10:51. That means 9 minutes and 10 seconds, of course 51 microseconds that she tried pushing right there. So outstanding it was, and that is what exactly she had to do for the team to push in there. And that now brings us to what exactly we can talk about, and a lot of talking points. One, we shall be coming back to talk about Kenya's, of course, Tusker coming to Uganda, that football club, and then we shall be coming to talk about Hill's new signings. We shall be coming to talk about how the Pirates are also going to be in hosting the